Okay, greetings. My name is Gershon Barnard, and this is a business proposal that I'm making. Right. So this is what's happening now. I am planning on establishing a company. What will the objective of the company be? The objective, it is basically to cut banking fees or fees that are associated with doing banking transactions. Okay. How do I plan on doing that? The proposal that I'm about to present here right now, this proposal is essentially the plan on how I intend on doing exactly that, cutting banking fees. Right. So this is what's going to happen. What's going to happen is you will have your company. Right. There's the company. The company has the company will have bank accounts at all banks. Let's say your Absa Bank, your FNB Bank, your Nedbank, Capitec Bank, stuff like that. Right. So essentially what's happening is you have a company. The company has bank accounts at all banks. Now why would that be the case? That would be the case because reason being, let's say for instance you have a user here who wants to transfer money, but this user is making use of an Absa bank account. However, the person that he or she wants to transfer the money to, they make use of a FNB account. Obviously it's common knowledge that such a transaction would be delayed, if not delayed then expensive. So how do we make this transaction to be almost instantaneous as well as cheap at the same time? What's going to happen is this user here, they are going to deposit money into the Absa bank account, the Absa bank account that belongs to the business. So then while they do this, the company would then take the money and then put and deposit the money out of the company's FNB account into the recipient or the beneficiary's bank account. So they would deposit the money into the Absa bank account, and then we would deposit the money from the FNB account into the beneficiary's account. Let's assume it's a FNB user, like a beneficiary with an FNB bank account. But now how do we plan on doing this? Well, this is now the mechanics. First of all, you have a user. This could be anyone, obviously anyone. By anyone I mean someone with a bank account, right? So they will be introduced to our website, which will be advertised, and then what's going to then happen is you have a website now, and now you have what we call a database. That means the website, it will be responsible for giving you the information that you need, telling you how this process works, all of the fees that are involved, stuff like that. And then obviously there will be a link to a database. But now this is the thing, the database, it will essentially be Google Forms, right? Now what will happen on Google Forms is you will insert the beneficiaries details, right? Let's say you want to transfer money to at least 10 people, then you would list them as beneficiaries using the Google Forms, of which you'll find the link on the website, right? So you go to Google Forms, you put, okay, these are 10 beneficiaries, people I plan on sending money to in the near future, right? So now the company has that information. Now this is the thing, once we have that information, you put in the information and then we can do the transactions. But it's not that simple, because let's say for instance we have Absa Bank. Let's say Absa Bank is on the website, it is maybe 123. This is the code for Absa Bank. So when you deposit money into Absa Bank, right, what you then do is FNB will have a code. Let's say the code is 472. What you would then do is you would then type in as a reference 472, and then obviously you will have a character there that separates the banking code from the recipient's details, which in this case it might be an account number, it might be the recipient's name. Whether it's account number, recipient's name, it makes no difference because we already have that information captured on the Google Forms. So this is just to make sure that, oh okay, you're referring to Edward or you are referring to whatever, right? And then obviously the banking code, just to make sure that it is, let's say, Capitec Bank or FNB Bank or whatever. So you deposit the money into the Absa bank account using the banking code. The banking code is basically the bank account you want the money to go into, whether FNB, Nedbank, Capitec, whatever. You put in a character, and then obviously the account number or the recipient's name, and then obviously in the background we do the transaction over there. So essentially speaking, this is the business idea. Just to end it off, you have a user deposits money, you use reference, we will put in a reference. Obviously this money will go into the company bank account, let's say the Absa bank account of the company, which will be found on the website of the company, right? So what will then happen is you put in the banking code, let's say 123 is for FNB. Now as a company we know it is FNB Bank, and that is the account number or the recipient's name, of which we will by the way have the details, because if you went to the website, you went to the database, Google Forms, you typed in the details for your beneficiaries, then obviously it would link up with an account number or recipient name, and then boom, we do the transaction. So now instead of you paying money into Absa, waiting 2 days or whatever for the money to reflect in the FNB account, you can now just use the company and essentially deposit 1,000, we subtract whatever fee we charge, and then we deposit money into their account. So this is the business plan. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.